Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, Immortal Hulk, issue number 32. This is a crazy good book. No action. There's a punching of a mirror, and it essentially happens off camera anyway, off panel, all right? No action. Don't look for a whole lot of action in here. Okay, there is a big, gigantic double-page spread in here, which is really effed up. But I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to all this stuff because, wow, this book is crazy. I'm going to be talking about all that, and I'm going to be talking about an agenda. What? There's an agenda in this book? I'm going to address that. First, we're going to talk about who made this comic book because we got to talk about who made this comic book. Also, you know an Alex Ross when you see one, right? Alex Ross has been doing every single one of these covers, and oh my god, they're all good. In fact, he's been doing a couple of the variant covers also. He didn't do the variant cover for this issue. But I think we got to get a collection of just Alex Ross's Immortal Hulk contributions because, my god, man, this is a freaking gorgeous cover. Can I get that money? I would like one of those dollars. Just like, can Marvel actually put out one of those dollars? Because I'm saying I would get it. I would get it. Just don't charge too much more than $1 for it, please. Anyway, let's get to talk about who made the comic book now. Excuse me. This issue is called Hulk is Hulk. The writer is Al Ewing. The pencils for the main story is Joe Bennett. The inkers for the main story are Roy Jose and Belardino Bravo. The colorist for the main story is Paul Mounts. The pencils and colors for the Zemu sequence are Javier Rodriguez, and the inker for the Zemu sequence is Alvaro Lopez. VC's Corey Petit did all of the letters. Alex Ross, of course, did the cover, and Pat Zurcher and Dave McCaig did the variant cover. And the Hulk was created by Stan Lee and Jack freaking Kirby, baby. So this comic book starts off with really talking about identity. Everything in this comic book, for the most part, is about identity, who we are, who we recognize ourselves to be. Zemu has placed himself in a way that first off, you have to understand that Zemo has the ability to brainwash people, to mesmerize people, to make them think something that's not true, to actually alter their memories on top of that. So it's like long-term brainwashing, not mind control. Say not in and of itself. He's actually affecting your memories and making you believe something so that he can now walk away, never see you again, but you're going to believe what he told you because that's a part of your memory now. This brainwash, it's insane, man. Essentially making us all similar to Manchurian candidates, if he so chose. God, this is insane. This is terrifying, And he's literally placed himself in the hero's mantle of every single hero that's ever done anything heroic and that we've seen on TV. Mind you, his powers are magnified over TV, which is terrifying because it means that if he brainwashes you through the television as opposed to up close in person, then it's more powerful through the television. Again, ultra terrifying because he can reach more people through television than walking by and making eye contact with everybody, in the world, right? So this is literally one of the most freaking characters ever imaginable. But Zemu has replaced himself. He's inserted himself in the place of every single hero or heroic team ever. He's all of the Avengers. He's a Spider-Man. He's all of the Fantastic Four. He's the one who's been doing all of these things. And instead of you thinking, hey man, check it out. All these crazy things have been happening in the world and there's been all these different heroes. No, it's actually just Zemu who's been helping everybody. But, it's also the immortal or the Incredible Hulk because that's who he is. He's the Hulk. Meanwhile, Robert Bruce Banner, he's the main villain in all of this, according to Zemu and what he's been brainwashing us with. So the greatest terrorist on the face of the planet has been Bruce Banner, and various Hulks here and there, right? Meanwhile, over in Hulk World, and again, this 2-page spread, wow, how Zemu eats, I didn't want to touch the book afterwards. Like, I was practically blowing on the pages, getting a toothpick to try and turn the pages. I didn't even want to touch the book anymore. That was just freaking terrifying. Y'all sick, all right? The people who are making this book, you guys need help. And I love you guys for it. Also, apparently, issue number 33 is going to return body horror in a crazy way. Yeah, sure, because that's what I need in my life. Why not? So, the Immortal Hulk, the Banner Hulk. Let me show you one of these pages. Banner is out here and he's been brainwashed. The only person who hasn't been brainwashed for the most part is Hulk because Hulk is Hulk. He understands who he is. He understands his identity. Hulk is basically the child like Hulk's way of saying, hey man, cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. I know exactly who I am. I know who my identity is. I understand everything. I love how Al Ewing took a simple quote that has existed almost as long as the Hulk has existed and completely changes the in-depth meaning of this. Hulk is Hulk. A is A. God, this is freaking beautiful. Man, the simplest things, but Al Ewing knows this character. And more than that, he's almost brainwashing us to understand who this character is even better than we thought who he was before. I'm telling you right now, going down in history, Al Ewing is going to be remembered. This run on the Immortal, on any Hulk title, this run is going to be remembered as one of the greatest throughout all of history. Because, wow. The deeper you think about it, the more you're smiling, you're cheesing ear to ear about how damn good this book is. So Hulk knows his identity. Now here's where a little bit of an agenda comes in. And make no mistake, I am not offended by this, and I don't think that anybody should be offended by this. I can't speak for the trans community because I'm not a trans person, and I don't even think I know any trans people one-on-one. I don't think I've ever had a conversation with a trans person before. So there's that. There's what do you call it? One of the people, I'm not going to say who, I'm not going to get into it. One of the people who are working in Gamma Base is trans. And this person identifies themselves as such to Doc Samson and says, listen, trans people, as a trans person, I've been dealing with self-identity for a long time. So I think I'm, more aware of who I am than most people, which is why I'm able to at least question some of what I've been fed, because some of these things just don't make sense. And I'm questioning my memories. Were they implanted, or is it actually a part of who I am? So I actually personally, without being a part of the trans community or even knowing anyone or being able to consult anyone in the trans community, I found that to be very insightful. Trans people, even if they're not more aware of who they are, whatever, a lot of people want to say they're confused or whatever. I love the idea they're talking about whatever you may think about us. The fact is, we think about our identity more than anyone else. I'm not going to argue that. I'm simply not going to argue that. That's very insightful. I consistently talk about, a lot of people talk about taking responsibility for yourself. Before you can take responsibility for yourself, you have to be introspective. You have to understand yourself. And it's not even just necessarily a part of psychology, it's a part of being human. You have to recognize who you are. So you can recognize, what things do I do that really aren't beneficial to humanity? They're only beneficial to me. Which things do I do that are actually selfless? Which things actually make me a better human as opposed to a better me? Because we have to take care of ourselves. But in order to exist in a society, we can't be so selfish that we only think about ourselves. Because you know people like that. Everybody knows somebody like that. Me, 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 me. The people who only think about themselves and don't think about the community. You're someone who doesn't belong in our community because you're a leech. All of this is something that you really have to pay attention to when you're reading this issue, because I love the way that all of this was done. There's a return character in this, and if you're following Mr. Bennett on Mr. Joe Bennett on Facebook, or I don't know where else. Oh, actually, he's also on Instagram. If you're following him in these two locations, I don't know about any place else. You got an idea of who shows up in this issue. It's a version of the Hulk, and I'm excited. I am excited. Guys, this is, as should be expected, a freaking fantastic book. I love this book. Wow. Body horror is going to return in a major way in the next issue. My God, man. Wow. Also, look forward to, it was by telephone, and it was a little bit weird, but You know, the way that it came in, the reception wasn't great, unfortunately, but I actually had a phone call with Mr. Al Ewing today. For you, it'll be tomorrow. But anyway, so for you, yesterday I had this phone call. Okay, on Tuesday, I had a phone call, 15-minute phone conversation with Mr. Al Ewing, and I got to talk to him about a whole bunch of stuff. I'm trying to edit this stuff now. I'm trying to increase the volume over here and try and clear up background noise and stuff like that. Hopefully it comes out, and maybe I can even transcribe it just for the sake of conversation, but it was very insightful. And of course, don't forget that Al Ewing is going to be going to Toronto Comic Con in 2 weeks. That's going to be right and sunny. Well, it's going to be in Canada. All right. So I don't know how sunny it's going to be, but it's going to be in 2 weeks as of this date, the 20th, 22nd, 20th, 21st, and 22nd of March. So 2 more weeks, and he'll be in Toronto Comic Con. So hey, man, come by, check it out, because I'll be there. And hopefully it's going to be a whole lot of good fun. And I told him I got another 40 questions for him, and I'm going to ask him there. And I think he's prepared for it. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. And, oh, don't forget, if an ad plays at the end of this, please consider letting it play, even if you watch your next video in a different window, because that's the only way your favorite YouTubers get paid. Also, you know, you turn your phone this way, you'll be able to click that like button before you leave, because I appreciate it. Anyway, yeah, so if you did get any value out of this, then I would genuinely appreciate it, and I'm out. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.